Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is eugeni'yah, Jenny for short, in case you didn't know. And I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're doing amazing as always. So today I would like to talk about what they should have taught us in school or the things that we should have learned when we were in school. And so we are in school for most of our lives, especially when we're growing up during the developmental years, like from 0 to 7 years old. And even though our parents are our first teachers, they are our number one educators, and they do our best. With some of us, they do our best to teach us about life and to prepare us, especially for the real world. But since we are in school for most of our time, I've noticed that they haven't really taught us the things that we really needed to be taught, especially before we finished secondary school, high school. So there's a variety of things, and one of them at the top of my list is gardening. And when you hear the word gardening, I know it's boring. Like, who wants to be in the garden just planting and watering, you know, trying to grow your seeds all day? But it's very important, especially the way there are talks about a food shortage, or we've entered a period of food shortages. And especially when you go into the supermarket and if you buy packaged food, especially like crisps and stuff like that, and you open the packet and the food level, it no longer starts at the top of the packet. Now it's in the middle of the packet, or it's below the middle level. And like, we've noticed that. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has noticed that over time. And so it would have been beneficial if we were taught how to grow our own food in school. And especially the way we hear that so many farms are shutting down, so many farms are being taken over by food factories and mega companies, mega technology companies even. And so, with that being said, we would have saved more money, especially if we knew how to grow our own food. That way, we wouldn't be so worried about an upcoming food shortage, especially the way they've been telling us to stock up and stuff like that. And also, another thing is economics, or economics, however you pronounce it. So it's like economics and investments. I feel like we learn about money management, investing, how to invest your money properly, where to invest your money in, and how the economy works, how it runs, the law of supply and demand, and all of that. We tend to learn that when we take business study classes, whether it's in school or in college, because not all of us major in business studies, not all of us go to college for that. And so you'd have to be very lucky to know about those things if you know people in that industry, or you take those classes yourself. And it's so important to know how this economy is going, especially in times like this, like the pandemic, post pandemic, and how it has affected so many businesses, our money, and just basically even signs of an upcoming recession, how to notice it, how to prepare beforehand. If we knew how the economy worked, and even if we knew how to invest our money properly, the type of stocks that we should invest in, bonds, funding, even real estate investment, especially to create revenue streams, especially for those of us who were laid off because of the pandemic. If we had knowledge of economics and investments, it would have it would have saved us, especially our financial lives and our professional lives. And another thing is, I'm always preaching about this on my channel. I've said this so many times in my previous videos, but it would have been very, very beneficial to teach us about self love, how to love ourselves properly. what love is, what it isn't, so that we recognize like narcissists and toxic people and the signs that people are not who they say they are, so that we would be better at picking the right people to befriend and avoiding getting into the wrong relationships, and therefore avoiding heartbreak and pain and trauma, especially over time in the long run. I feel like the saying is true. How can you love others if you don't love yourself? How can you give others what you don't have for yourself, what you lack for yourself? It doesn't make any sense. And we are just taught to indulge in relationships, whether it's romantic relationships or platonic relationships, but we forget about one of the most important relationships, our relationships with ourselves. And I feel like if we took the time to get to know who we are and to focus on who we are and who we aren't, our likes and dislikes, even to develop standards and requirements of other people to treat us right, we would avoid a lot of time wasters and a lot of people trying to use us and take advantage of us. We would be a lot more healthier and a lot more farther ahead in life if we knew who we were, if we know who we are, so that we know where we're going, who is for us, who isn't for us, what is for us, what isn't for us, in terms of even job opportunities and things that come our way. So that's just one of the most beneficial things that could have been taught to us, especially when we were in school. And another thing that we should have been taught is how to start your own business. There's so many other businesses, there's so many businesses out there that are for each and every one of us, whether it is a clothing store, um a shoe shop, or like a travel business, or even an information business like YouTube. If we were taught how to start our own business from scratch and the types of businesses that could suit each and every one of us, because we are all different. And when it came to marketing and investments and who to partner with and stuff like that, and developing our brands, we would be a lot better off, especially from the 9 to 5. Even if you do have a 9 to 5, you could have like a side hustle, a side business on the side, just in case something happened to that 9 to 5 where you lost your job or you were laid off because of unforeseen circumstances, things that were outside of your control. I really do feel like school, it does teach us how to be employees rather than employers. I feel like that's what we're trained to do when we're in school, as opposed to thinking like entrepreneurs. And I guess the last thing that I wrote down, the last thing that we should have been taught in school is, it's in relation to Black history. I know many of us, especially many of us who grew up in Ireland, or in Europe, in the rest of Europe, just basically worldwide, America and other continents too. I feel like what we were taught when it came to Black history, it was mainly or just Martin Luther King Jr., the KKK, and the Civil Rights Movement. Especially the Civil Rights era, and we weren't really taught who we were before slavery happened, because our history didn't start with slavery. It didn't start with the transatlantic slave trade. I feel like that interrupted our history. And when it comes to Africa as well, the motherland, and the way there's about 54 or 55 countries there, and each country has rich history. It has an extensive, incredible, interesting amount of history. And it would have been nice to be taught who we were before slavery and all that happened. The fact that we were kings and queens, we were emperors, empresses, rulers, teachers, pioneers, inventors, voyagers. Like we traveled the whole world before slavery happened. We traveled the whole world. We discovered so many things, and I feel like we were cheated out of our broad history, because even when you look at other races of people, they all have they all have the good, the bad, and ugly of their history. They have a very broad, extensive, massive amount of history, you know? And I feel like none of our history, no matter our race, no matter our nationality, can be one dimensional. There's only a specific thing about our history, and we have nothing else. And because other races of people have this as well, us as Black people, as African people, we also have that too, the good, the bad, and the ugly of our history. And it's not just slavery. And so, if that's the case for other people, why not us? And yeah, so basically those are the main things that I noticed that we weren't taught in school, especially when it came to history class. And I'm sure there's so many other things that we should have been taught that would have really better prepared us and helped us to face the real world, especially after school, after we finish school, secondary school, high school, and to just make sure that we were to cope with what happened, you know, after school. And it would have been nice to get this education, more education, knowledge, and wisdom, not just at home, but also in school. Like I mentioned before, we're there for most of our lives, and it would have been very, very beneficial and helpful. And if you have other things that you notice that we should have been taught in school that I didn't even mention, feel free to drop it in the comment section below and let me know what you think, what you thought of what I had to say, and if you got anything valuable from the points that I mentioned, you can let me know down below in the comment section. And yeah, that's all, I guess. That's all to this video, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And I also aim to upload every Monday. And I know with Mondays, a lot of people don't like Mondays for some reason. Maybe it's the start of a new week, a long week ahead in school, college, work, or whatever. But I like to make every day count. And so for me, Monday is actually a fun day. And so I just strive to have an upload for you, a video for you every Monday, whether it's, as short as 2 minutes, or it's as long as 20 minutes or whatever. I'll just try to give you guys some content every Monday. So, guys, that is it. And till next time, bye.